shower, somehow defeat a global superpower. How do we emerge victorious from the quagmire, leave the battlefield waving Betsy
All right.
Ross's flag higher?
Are we back?
Turns out we have a secret weapon, an immigrant. You know
Anybody else out there with me? Anybody else here with me? Nice, cool, cool, cool. We're back. Ask the questions in the chat. That's a good idea. I will. Bloody will ask the questions in the chat. If things aren't working, just means that if you can't see it, question 6 is in the chat. Question 7's coming up. It's a subjective 7. It's a pretty basic subjective 7 this week because I was struggling to find one. Alright, moving on to subjective 7. I've posted 2 questions in the chat. Subjective 7, you might get stumped on and you might think, hey, what films have even come out this year? And that's a great question, but there have been a couple, and I've also spoken about one quite a lot. Films that have come out this year, of the year 2020. It was released in cinemas this year, at the start of this year. But the good news is if you can think of 1 or 2, there's not that many that have come out. Pretty niche, but keeping in mind the topic of this round, I'm hoping somebody might be able to guess it. Because we have talked about it a few times. So tell me how the stream's going, everyone. Are our issues resolved? I'm sticking this in my hat. Maybe that's the... I mean, I think it's me and not you guys, because if you're all having problems, and Netherworld was also having some dodgy internet moments earlier, then there's every chance that's us. I'm going to keep carrying on this way, and I'm going to post questions in the chat as well. I have posted the next question that may not have come up again on your stream. In Offspring, what was the name of Cherie's son that she shares with Darcy Proudman? Alright, at the moment that looks like there's a screen. Does everyone see the screen? Fortunately, I don't have a video question tonight. There's only going to be more audio questions. Nice. Everyone do what Grace is doing. Just drink alcohol to get through the glitches. To be honest, the Twitch gods and the internet gods have been very good to us for all year. We haven't really had many troubles apart from that one time that was an absolute travesty and we all went Facebook Live. Other than that, it's been pretty good. So come on, baby. Let's pray to the gods. Let's do question 9, which again I will post in the chat, just in case anyone's having major problems. I am wearing the internet thing inside of my cap to keep it up high, so I'm hoping that helps. I think you're right, Grace. This is the sign that the gods of trivia want us back home. Our question 9 is, Gamilaroi woman and famous Australian journalist Brooke Boney became known for using the traditional Gamilaroi greeting at the beginning of each Triple J news bulletin. She hasn't done Triple J in a while, but I'm sure you will remember this because she did it for many years. I want to know, what was that Gamilaroi word that she would say to begin the news bulletins? I obviously don't expect you to spell anything correctly, but if you can phonetically remember what it was, write that shit down and I'll give you a point. Nice. Vin Diesel's Electric Mayhem seem to have got this one. Excellent. Wait, let me check on the internet in my hat. Alright. Anybody else got this one? I'm going to assume someone's got it and move us on to question 10. It's worth 2 points. This year, Vincent Namatjira became the first Aboriginal winner of the Archibald Prize. Who were the subjects of his winning painting? This is worth 2 points because there were 2 subjects in his painting. Try and remember the internet's in my hat. Alright, 2 people please, and I will give you 2 points. I know it'll all bereave you intensely, but I am going to skip over charades tonight because I don't think that's going to go very well with a broken up video stream. Won't be pretty. So we'll move on to question 11. Famous across social media, particularly Instagram, these distinctive designs, which I'm sure many of you have seen around, come from which well-known brand / Wiradjuri jewelry designer? I'm convinced some of you must own some of this jewelry. It is quite big, particularly big on Instagram. At least that's where I see it a lot. What is the name of the brand behind these distinctive earrings? Oh no. Alrighty, I'm going to move us on, and I'm going to hope that we can see me. This is essentially not necessarily NAIDOC related, but I've just weaseled a question about the dish into this round because I really wanted to share this cool piece of information that's come out of NAIDOC Week this week. And that is that the Parkes Radio Telescope, aka the dish, was renamed Mariang this week to honour the Wiradjuri country on which it sits. And that word Mariang is referencing the sky world and the sky spirit, and the whole thing is to honour the first astronomers, which of course was Indigenous Australians. So I just really like that. That's amazing. I know as movie fans we all have a special relationship with the movie The Dish. It's one of the best in Australia, I think. So I'm segueing into a question about the movie. In the movie, what is the name of the local girl that Glenn likes but is too afraid to ask out? Is it A. Maisie, B. Louise, C. Thelma, or D. Janine? If you can't remember, Glenn is played by the late great Tom Long. Glenn is Tom Long's character. Wow, we've got someone who's never seen The Dish. I strongly recommend it. It's a bloody ripper. Great film of the year 2000. Also stars Sam Neill, among others. It's a truly spectacular movie. I've just been given the go-ahead if everyone wants to move over to Facebook Live, not Facebook Live, to Instagram Live, but if everyone's okay, we might carry on here because at least we can do our audio questions this way. Anyway, question 13. What is the name of the mythological creatures that live among humans in the superhero TV show Clever Man? Super Nintendo's Ben has just arrived. Who was making a cob loaf. I have a sneaking suspicion that Ben is an excellent cook because he often posts the most delicious looking food. Welcome to our NAIDOC week round, Benjamin. Alright, at the moment we're going to stay on Twitch. I know we're having connection issues and I'm sorry. I'm going to stay on Twitch just because I can at least play our audio questions if we're on Twitch. If it really shits itself later, we'll move over to Instagram Live. Alright, cool. Cool. Who's seen Clever Man? And do we remember the name of the mythological creatures? Oh, very nice. Vin Diesel's Electric Mayhem have got this one. We've got reports that Ben's cob loaf will make you want to die as life can't get any better after one. I believe it. I assume that's Julius, based on the username, and I believe it, mate. Hopefully someone in the team has seen the show Clever Man. Alrighty, moving us on, question 14. Which track by Baker Boy was nominated for Best Hip Hop Release and Best Music Video at last year's ARIAs? Obviously a big track to get such recognition. Do we remember the big single from Baker Boy last year? Or the biggest, I should say. Alright, who remembers? Let me know. guys, I have to tell you about the Netherworld special that was on tonight, and I assume this week, so you should come in and buy it. It was a vegan duck roll with miso sauce and coriander and slaw, and it was amazing. If anyone's planning a trip into the Netherworld this weekend, just saying. Don't quote me on the fact that the special will be available. Moving on to question 15. You didn't tell me if you knew that one, but you know what? You snooze, you lose. I'm going to kill Led Zeppelin for a moment and play this little reverse song. Alright, have a listen to the reverse song. I've given you some hints. It's a 90s song, a song from the 1990s. See if you can recognize it. Artist and song title if you can. Let's do it. Steve, moderator, has asked that, is it vegan banh mi? It essentially is vegan banh mi, but they're calling it the vegan duck roll. The Psy duck roll, actually. I'm going to play this again. It's a hit from the 90s, I think 95, but could be a 1 year either side. Obviously place it in context of our NAIDOC round. Here we go. Alright, does anyone know it? I swear to God you know this song, but do you know it in reverse? By the way, oh, very nice. We got Vinny D and Super Nintendo Charmers all over it. We've also got a basic spinach dip cob loaf. A great traditional approach. I think you made the right choice there, Ben. Nice. Anonymous and Oz also knows the song. Okay, I think we're pretty good. Jazz Paz, I'm sorry. 3 years old. I was also 3 years old in 1995. Who knew? Year of the Monkey, baby. Let's move on. Question 16. For the very last episode of what satirical Australian breakfast television show did regular hosts Kate McLennan and Kate McCartney step aside for Miranda Tapsell and Nakialu to replace them and perform a takedown of white mainstream media? A very long-winded question, but it was hard to say it all quickly. Hopefully you're familiar with this show. I just want the name of the show. It's a satirical Australian breakfast TV show that regularly is hosted by Kate McLennan and Kate McCartney, who also, you'll probably remember, host the catering show, which is excellent. For the series finale, they asked Miranda Tapsell and Nakia Lui to step in their duties of host. Oh, I'm glad to see we've got so many fans of this show. Looks like we've got some ABC and SBS viewers here. That's what we like to see. Alright. I just need the name of the show in case all of the words confused you. A reminder for those who have come in late, our comic themes this week, you have a choice between NAIDOC Week, celebrating NAIDOC Week, or celebrating the US election. Election is not a word. The US election results. So two powerful topics for you to choose from. Let's move on. Question 17. The 2019 comedy Top End Wedding centers around the main character Lauren chasing her mother up to which northerly islands? This one goes out to everyone who saw Top End Wedding. I only watched it in lockdown a few months ago. Another reappearance of Miranda Tapsell, who is amazing. Alright, so you don't even have to have seen the movies because you can just guess some northerly islands. The northerly islands are very much not fictional. So if you haven't seen the movie, guess some northerly islands. I mean, it's in the name, Top End Wedding. Moving on, question 18. I'm curious to see if anyone knows this one. I think this is a bit trickier. I'm after the name of a show which features these characters. It was the first animated TV show that centered around Indigenous characters and culture. Some really famous voice casts in this show, actually. I think Miranda Tapsell actually appears, as well as Deborah Mailman and a couple of other classics. Do you know the name of this show? This is for the real true fans of scrolling local content, because I think that it might be a little bit trickier. Does anyone know the name of this show? Or should I give you a sneaky hint? I have no idea how to give you a hint for this, but I will try my darndest. Oh, very nice. We have a team that's got it. I think I will give you a hint. It is Little Blank and Big Blank. Little Something and Big Something is the name of the show. Little Something and Big Something. So, at the very least, you can guess. Little Something and Big Something. Moving on, question 19. Pretty recognisable logo, but depends on whether you can pick it in a moment after a few lines. Tell me what this is the logo for, who or what? Don't freak out. Beautiful scribes, we're going to do answers very soon for our native week round. So make sure you've guessed all of the guesses that there is to guess. I'll give you 20 seconds and then we're going to run through the answers. Alrighty, here we go. Question 1. It was B. If I had lighter skin, maybe I would win. The answer was B. And shall we queue up Better in Black after Africa? Just because it's such a good song. I'm queuing it up right now. I'll queue it up, add to the queue. Queue. Question 2. Captain Boomerang from Suicide Squad. 1 point for Captain Boomerang, half a point for Suicide Squad. Question 3. We had Aaron Fayoso and Stephen Oliver. I assume most of you got Stephen Oliver, being pretty well known as he is. You did not have to spell Aaron's name right, because phonetically it still counts. 2 points. I strongly recommend you watching this skit. It's one of the best. Question 4 is, of course, David Gilkilil, who is an incredibly famous actor, prolific, decade-long career. Decades long. Many decades long. Alright, question 5. 4 points here. We had Electric Fields 2000 and whatever, which was the song that they the song that they sung for the Eurovision contest. Mojo, who was formerly called Mojo Juju. So if you said Mojo Juju, you can have a point for the artist singing Native Tongue. Ziggy Ramos singing A to Z, and Emily Waramara singing Black Smoke. Well done if you got a couple points there. If you did successfully guess the artist, make sure you give yourself a half point for them. And as I said, Mojo Juju is now goes by Moju, but you'll get it right if you said Mojo Juju. Guns and Genius said, can I have a half point for getting Aaron's first name? Absolutely. You definitely take a half point for getting Aaron's first name. Bloody good job. You're probably the only one. Question 6 is, of course, Dark Emu. I'm sure you've seen this book on a lot of book stands. It's very popular. You do get a point for Aaron. You can get a point for it. Question 7. I know that there wasn't very many Australian films that came out this year, but I've spoken about the documentary In My Blood It Runs, so I was hoping that some people would accurately guess this, not least because there just wasn't that many films, but also it's spectacular, and we've definitely spoken about it a few times in Netherworld Trivia, although I know some of you are new here tonight, and I apologise for that. But holler if you said it. Question 8 is B. Ray. Cherie's son in Offspring is called Ray. Ray. Offspring is the best. I love Offspring. Offspring is the best. Question 9, it's Yama. Brooke Boney started all of her news bulletins with Yama, Brooke Boney here. Yama is a welcome word in the Netherworld language. I assume even if you didn't spell it right, you probably did get that right because she was on that program for a very long time. Chucky Newts just said a great thing to the crowd. Also, there is another published by the same author called Young Dark Emu, which is the version for your kids of Dark Emu, which is pretty cool. So if anyone knows any children, your own or others, then that's a very good Christmas present idea, I think. Grace has also suggested that Rams and Heart of Bones were good Australian movies that came out this year. And whilst Rams look fun, I'm still resentful of the fact that they remade that Icelandic movie, which I think is excellent. And I know that's very, very grouchy of me, and I will watch it, but, you know, just make your own original stories. Question 10. The two subjects I wanted was himself and Adam Goods. The painting is of himself, that is Vincent Namatjira, and the famous footballer Adam Goods. 2 points there if you got both. I skipped the charade, sorry, just because of the glitchy video. It wasn't going to go down very well. Question 11. The designer was House of Dizzy. House of Dizzy, which has just erupted in the last couple of years. Question 12. Glenn's love interest in the dish is called Janine. Janine. Question 13. Hairy people or hairies I will accept for the mythological creatures in Clever Man. Great show, you should check it out if you haven't seen it. Question 14. It is of course Baker Boy, Cool as Hell. I'm sure if you played it you would recognize it. It was pretty big last year. 15. Oh, everyone's favourite song, Christine Anu, Party, which I actually am going to queue up after Thelma Plum because, God, it's a good song. Forgot about it, and then being reacquainted was such a vibe. Alright, question 16. It's Get Crackin'. Strongly recommend you watching this show, particularly the last episode, which featured these two lovely ladies. Question 17 is the Tiwi Islands. I'm hoping if you haven't guessed it, you did just guess the Tiwi Islands, being the very northerly top islands. Question 18, it's Little J and Big Cuz. Little J and Big Cuz is the TV show. Shout out to all the parents out there who got it because they watch it with their kids. Question 19, I'm sure you would recognize it now that I'm telling you what it is. This is NITV, the National Indigenous Television Network's logo. And our last 4-pointer, Thelma Plum, Electric Fields and Busby Marou performed. It was technically just one person from Busby and one person from Electric Fields, but you didn't need to tell me their actual names. I'll give you Thelma Plum, Electric Fields, Busby Marou, so two people coming up again. And Kev Carmody was the original rider-performer. So there's your 4 points. Thelma, Electric Fields, Busby Marou and Kev Carmody. You know what to do, my lovely, sweet peaches, my sweet little cobloafs. Add up your points, post what you got in the group. Next round, thank you for playing NAIDOC Week Trivia. Round 2 are all your theme requests that you sent me last week, so I'm sure you'll be very familiar with them. I'm going to throw up our little BRB. We'll be back in 7 minutes. Please enjoy Christine Arnou's... Oh no, but it's going to play an annoying... It's going to play a little annoying screen. We'll do Christine Arnoux when we come back from the BRB. See you in 7 minutes.
Material call from all Iber staff here at York Island. Message, get a haircut and get a real job.
Stepping out in my deadly red shoes, styling up 'cause I'm wearing something new. Little girl has got her eyes off the ground, keeping time to the rhythm of the city sound. Why don't you come join my party? Let's move it till the break of dawn. I gotta hear that music ring.
Alright, just wanted to play that for a bit because it's great and I forgot about it for so long. Looks like we did okay considering it was a pretty niche round. Hopefully we'll be less niche in future. But 10-15, 17.5, bloody good score, guys. We had, just scanning, it looks like Vin Diesel's Electric Mayhem is currently in the lead on 24, with no thanks from Scott in Canada. Sorry, Scott. I hope the winter is treating you kindly. Moving on to round number 2, which you'll probably find much more familiar because these are all the themes that you requested, and we're starting with a big, comfy hug of Lord of the Rings, my fave. In the Lord of the Rings, what do the elves call the hobbits? A, the Onodrim, B, the Perianath, C, the Uraloki, or D, the Aliendir?
Why don't you come join my party? Let's move it till the break of dawn. I gotta hear that music ring, bring it on. Why don't you come join my party? Let's move it till the break of dawn. I gotta hear that
Don't forget to draw me a comic. It's US election themed or NAIDOC week themed, depending on what you are into. Alright, hopefully you know your Elvish. I know some of you do, because I know there are big Hobbit and Rings fans out there. I watched a great video of Stephen Colbert speaking in Elvish and was reminded about what a huge fan he is. Question 22. Keeping in the ultra massive fandom circle, we're going into a Star Wars space. What is Baby Yoda's official name in The Mandalorian? Obviously in the show, no one calls it Baby Yoda. What is it called in the show? Tell me what they call Baby Yoda in the show. And let's move on. Question 23. In the pilot episode of Futurama, what did Fry do for a living before he accidentally froze himself? Was he A, a dog walker, B, a pizza delivery boy, C, a burger flipper, or D, he was unemployed? I'm getting to the spin on your chair portion of the evening. Nick, what? I'm about to be reprimanded, I can feel it. Oh, absolute objectivity. I was actually going to bring this up, I really was. Nick in the chat has reminded us of the musical that's happening in Brisbane that was written by one of our very own regular trivia goers, Samson Smith. Its opening night is tomorrow night. And there are still tickets available. I don't know if it's tickets available for tomorrow night, but I assume there's tickets available for the following week of shows. So if everyone feels like going to a local musical that is fabulous and full of talented people, then you should book. It's called Absolute Objectivity. Nick just posted it in the chat. And he says it's excellent, and he's not connected at all to it, so he's not biased at all. Alright, let's move on. Question 24. Sharing a first name with a Shakespearean anti-hero and a last name with a West Wing character, which film director directed the movies Superman, Lethal Weapon, and Lady Hawk? Now, I have added the extra layer of riddle at the top just in case random film directors aren't your area of expertise. You've still got a chance of trying to work out what their name is. Sharing a first name with a Shakespearean anti-hero and a last name with a West Wing character. Tell me the name of the director who directed Superman, Lethal Weapon, and Lady Hawk. If you don't just know the director's name, which you might do. I'm so excited that we're probably going to be back, most definitely back in the venue for Christmas, and we can all do cute Christmas things, and I can buy you candy canes, and we can sing carols, and just be really sickening and embrace one another. Possibly not though, because I guess that's still not really kosher. Shall we move on, or do we need some more time to crack this Dan Brown level quality code? In preparation, I am going to pause the music because we have an audio question coming up, which I have to warn you may put you to sleep. It's worth 4 points. 4 points here. I want you to identify the 4 rock songs that have been remixed as lullabies, or, well, not really remixed, but redone as lullabies in a lullaby fashion. 4 rock songs. Give me the artists, give me the song titles. Here you go. This will make you feel drowsy, so focus. Okay, if you're not all asleep, I will play that one more time, I think, just once. Sorry, Scott, I know it's 5 a.m. and that did probably definitely make you fall asleep. But we are so honoured that you have joined us, and we are cherishing these few weeks we have left with you on Twitch before things go back to in-person trivia. Let's do it one more time. Okay, you may have fallen asleep with those lullabies. They are quite beautiful though. I'm not going to play it again because it's like taking a sleeping pill and they also take a really long time. But I hope you got all of them. Let's put on some fast-paced, erratic music for a change. Oh, it's the Batman theme playing at the moment. This one goes out to, I think, Hidden Ham, who requested a Demon Slayer question. In the anime Demon Slayer, how long did Nezuko sleep for during the time that Tanjiro trained? Was it A, 365 days, B, 142 days, C, 730 days, or D, 366 days?
Everyone, give it up for the maid of honor, Angelica Schuyler.
A toast to the groom.
To the groom.
For those of you who haven't seen Demon Slayer,
Pride.
she's guessable. You got a 1 in 4 chance.
Your sister. Angelica. Is always
Alright, pick a day, any day. Question 27. Which famous literary British Navy officer, many barrels, has been depicted by both Owen Grufford and Gregory Peck on screen? Gregory Peck, of course, being a pretty old school actor back in the day, and Owen Grufford being of the now. Some, but probably no one would describe him. I think it's pronounced Owen, but feel free to yell at me in chat if that's not true. That's what I've always said. Wait, they're saying loan. No, it's not loan. I think Owen Grufford pronounces it Owen. Is it an I or an L? It's an I, right? Somebody give me directions. Oh, story time in the chat. Owen Grufford came into my ex's work while he was filming in Brisbane, and he did not think it was interesting enough to mention when I asked him how his day was. Nice. Oh, Hamilton's playing. Thank you, Jack, for standing with me with Hamilton. I assume that you're all Hamilton fans big enough to have seen the Australian cast has been announced, and they all look great. I'm gonna hope somebody has guessed this one because, quite frankly, it was requested, so something better. Question 28. Which of these is not an expansion of or variant game of Settlers of Catan? A. Seafarers of Catan. B. Starfarers of Catan. C. Kids of Catan. D. Cities of Catan. Which is not an expansion or variant game in Settlers of Catan or of Settlers of Catan?
Elizabeth Schuyler. It's a pleasure to meet you. Schuyler. My sister. Number 2. He's after me 'cause I'm a Schuyler sister.
Oh wow, somebody else has an Owen Grufford story. He came into my work. I didn't recognize him, but figured it out from someone else fanning at him. He was buying Roald Dahl books for his daughter. Cute. David Wenham once bought a Wiggles tribute album from me. That is fucking awesome. David Wenham, I would have a starstruck moment with David Wenham. And what a good choice. The Wiggles tribute album. Fabulous. Alright, question 29. Identify the celebrity from their Insta-famous pets. Bit of a reach here, but we had some requests for celebrity pets. One request. And some celebrities really do post their animals as much as they post themselves. And they have their own accounts. So tell me who the celebrities are based on the pets. One of them has 2 dogs. Oh, David Stratton as well. David Stratton would be a big one. You've had some good foot traffic there at JB's. Oh my god, Emily has just said that she worked with David Wenham on The Proposition. What were you doing on The Proposition? That's so cool. What's everybody else's most famous person that they met? Go. My answer used to be really cool, and now it's really terrible. Oh my god, Grace has also met Jeffrey Rush, Jimmy Barnes, Jason Mewes, Thelma Plum, Bernard Fanning. I like to think that you've met them all through JB Hi-Fi, but there's every chance that that's not the case. I'm going to hold on celebrity pets for another minute just so you can make something up if you don't know, and then we're going to move on. Oh my god, Steve just threw down the gauntlet. He's met Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, that's got to be the top. That is cool as shit. Ooh, Steph has met Tom Felton. Connor has met Jack Black. Brooke has met Bam. Scott in Canada has met Steve, the moderator. Ooh, Ben, the cobloaf man, sold the Veronicas a barbecue once. This is such a fun game, everyone. I really want to hear more about all of these stories, and we're going to go into detail when we're back in the room. Oh, I missed some lightning stand-in. Oh my god, Emily was a lighting stand-in for Emily Watson and other random jobs. That is so cool. Steve also helped Kevin Run print his photos at Joyce Main. Louis Theroux, that is cool. That's very good, very cool. Veronica's used to come to the fruit and veg shop. Why have we never spoken about this before? Anyway, moving on. Question 30. In the video game Portal, you awaken in a small room. What objects are on the table in this room? A. Radio, portal gun, and a cube. B. Radio, mug, and a clipboard. C. Clipboard, testing suit, and a mug. D. Mug, clipboard, and a portal gun. What 3 objects are on the table when you awaken in the video game Portal? Oh my god, Kevin Rudd came into JB last week. Wasn't he too busy taking down the Murdoch Empire to be watching any movies?
And scream that I love you. When you make me rise and fall. You're so rare and you're so fine. And I'm so very, very, very glad you're mine. You're so rare. Oh, you're mine, you know.
Oh, a poker trout always tells the best stories. My strangest one was meeting the Prime Minister of Tonga, mostly because I had basically no idea until a woman in his group told me. She seemed to enjoy surprising people with it. They were just shopping in Queen Street, like no big deal. That's cool. That's very cool. Take a guess, 3 objects, and we're gonna move on. Question 31. Remember Game of Thrones? I know, not really, hey. What role in the small council does Cersei assign to Qyburn? John Williams, aka the John Williams, the composer, walked within 3 feet of me once, but I didn't say hello. So that's a pretty big one, but doesn't count because I didn't properly meet him. My other famous one is J.K. Rowling, who I've met a couple of times, but obviously don't advertise that anymore because she's in the bin. Oh, someone's met Arnold Schwarzenegger. Julius has met Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh no, sorry. Arnold Schwarzenegger replied to me on Reddit. Slightly different. One of my former students is best friends with Leonard Cohen's son. That's cool. Scott's asked what J.K. Rowling is famous for. She did a series of uninteresting and unsuccessful comics back in the 70s. Don't worry, you wouldn't have heard of her. Question 32. Which K-pop girl group? I don't even think Paul is here tonight, but he did request K-pop as always, so I have written him another K-pop question. Which K-pop girl group is behind the hits Psycho, Oompa Oompa, and Peekaboo? Your options are Blackpink, 2NE1, Red Velvet or Girls' Generation, Obviously, we have a lot of K-pop, but we have K-pop fans, namely Beyonce Knowles, who is not playing tonight, sadly.
Extended works of fiction about imaginary success. When chorus girls and neon were his closest thing to friends, but to a writer, the truth is no big deal. And from the hard time living to the sleepless nights and the black and blue body from the weekend fights, you'd say Lifegoeson. Got more than money and sense, my friend. You got heart, and you go in your own way. Lifegoeson. What you don't have now will come back again. You got heart, and you go.
What do you think Britney Spears' book series would be about? I feel like it would be like a fantasy sci-fi high concept. Question 33. Identify the film and TV character from their pop doll depiction. Britney Spears and The Prisoner of Paper is good. That's good.
Got more than money and sense, my friend. You got heart, and you go in your own.
Don't forget to send me your comics, people. We've got US elections as a theme. We also have NAIDOC Week if you choose. $30 venue voucher is on the line, and I haven't got any comics yet, and we've only got 7 questions to go. Thank you to Brooke, who just shared a picture of her standing next to Kevin Rudd. If anyone else has a fun celebrity photo they want to send me, please do. I'll put them all on the notice board next week. I feel like you need to be in it though. Thank you. Someone just sent through a comic. Question 34. What was the last movie Walt Disney was able to work on before he died? Mary Poppins, 101 Dalmatians, The Jungle Book, or The Sword and the Stone? Speaking of Britney Spears, what was the last movie she was able to work on before she died? Oh, I forgot that it's another state of origin. That's why we're missing a few members. I swear to God, state of origin has not been advertised this year. Has it not? Or are my algorithms just really sound? Is Walt truly dead? I don't think so. Ooh, Holly from Super Nintendo Charm has met BJ Novak in Scotland. That's 2 great things in one place. I mean, 2 great things together. Scotland is the place. And is also the subject of the great thing. Question 35, true or false? Warner Brothers has confirmed that Mads Mikkelsen is set to replace Johnny Depp as Gellert Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts 3 movie. Speaking of Harry Potter people who belong in the bin. Is this true or false? Okay, Anastasia has confirmed that it's just my algorithm that does not show me any state of origin shit. Truly, though, is it happening in Brisbane? Is the game happening in Brisbane or is it happening somewhere else? Because I didn't notice any traffic. Next week's in Brisbane. Okay, good to know. Is anyone going? Based on Jack's enthusiasm, he probably is. Alright. Question 36. Let's do it. It's another this or that, or rather another 50-50. Is Rel a World of Warcraft character or a lamp from IKEA? Is Rel a World of Warcraft character or a lamp from IKEA? We haven't had a this or that in a while. So I thought, you know what? Let's grease these wheels. These 50-50 wheels in our brains. Oh, I forgot I have cold chips. What's everyone doing on the weekend? Tell me about your life. Alright, 50-50. Question 37. People, send me a comic. Just doodle something out. I know you're tired, but we love to draw. Oh, guys, Surly Sailor, aka our married moderator, is working at Easy Time Brewing this weekend. What days? I totally will come have a beer. Grace is working and then visiting her nana. I am working and then going to get a beer from the moderator. Everyone, let's go to Easy Time Brewing and hang out and be friends. I haven't even read this question out. I'm off the rails. What Nashville venue was Taylor Swift playing at when she was discovered? Mercy Lounge, the Bluebird Cafe, the Basement East, or 12 and Porter. We had a couple of people request Taylor Swift this week. A couple of people. Scott in Canada, give us an update. How's the C-19 situation going? A, B, C or D, Mercy Lounge, the Bluebird Cafe, the Basement East, 12 and Porter. Question 38. For which film did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? Sorry to hear the situation is dire in Canada, Scott. And yes, Hacklock and Gungan Genius, I agree. We got no space for Johnny Depp. Or the apologists. Because, you know, we just don't know these things, but it's best to believe people. Question 39. In the episode of The Office, Prince Family Paper, which actress's hotness is The Office debating? A. Angelica Houston, B. Meryl Streep, C. Glenn Close, or D. Hilary Swank? Haven't had an Office question in a while. Question 25. Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses for 1 point. Where Is My Mind, The Pixies. You Can't Always Get What You Want, The Rolling Stones. You Shook Me All Night Long, AC/DC. 4 points. Sweet Child of Mine, Where Is My Mind, You Can't Always Get What You Want, You Shook Me All Night Long. Question 26. It was 730 days. I was a bit sneaky because it was actually, they say 2 years in the show, but I just tried to make it confusing by making it days, because 730 days is 2 years. Horatio Hornblower. If you just said Hornblower, that's fine, because Hornblower is kind of how he's known. Hopefully a couple of teams got that. 28. Cities of Catan is not a thing. It's certainly not an expansion or variant of the game, so D is correct. 29. A, obviously Taylor Swift, very famous cats. That's Megan Thee Stallion's, I want to say French Bulldog? And Selena Gomez is the Maltese Terrier something. I don't know. 3 points. Taylor, Megan Thee Stallion, Selena Gomez. It was B, Radio Mug and Clipboard. Radio Mug and Clipboard. Master of Whisperers. I was hoping that was slightly challenging for you because I assume we haven't thought about Game of Thrones in a little while. Hand of the Queen. He might have eventually become Hand of the Queen, but originally it was Master of Whisperers. Was he also Hand at the same time, or was he Master of Whisperers first? Is the Hand part of the small council, or is it separate? That's what I want to know. But, look, if you said Hand of the Queen, you can have it. Yeah, right, so he replaced Varys. But Whispers was like, you know, the OG title. OG title, and then he replaced Varys. But yes, I'll give, if you said Hand of the Queen, you can also have Hand of the Queen as well as Master of Whispers. Question 32. It's C, Red Velvet. I'm so sad Paul wasn't here to see his K-pop question. 33 was, of course, Joey Tribbiani. Hopefully the hair gave it away. EEJ, if you had both... I know I didn't say originally. I think if you had both, you're a clever chicken and you should get 2 points. If you said... You said Whispers and Hand of the Queen, I will give you 2 points. 2 schmackles. And that's a promise. It's a promise that's been enacted because you just got them. Question 34. C, The Jungle Book. The Jungle Bouquet. False. They are rumours that Mad Mikkelsen will replace Johnny Depp, but it is false. Warner Brothers has not confirmed it. Question 36. It's a WoW character. Rel is a World of Warcraft character who is pictured in this lovely little fan drawing. Question 37. Our second Taylor Swift question, because we had a few teams request T Swift, was B, the Bluebird Cafe, which I think she's returned to a couple of times. Question 38 is Schindler's List. Hopefully we guessed Schindler's List. 39, it was Hilary Swank, seen with many pictures on the wall. And for 6 points, number 1 or yellow was person, dark blue or 2 was world, light blue or 3 was object, orange or 4, the worst category of all time, action, green or 5, nature, 6 or red, random, also a terrible category to get, random and action, no one wants them. 6 points if you got all 6. and bloody well done. Oh my god, it looks like Chucky Newt has landed on their feet with this one. If you've got any comics, send them to me now, because we're a couple of minutes away from announcing that. The answer is the Sapphires. Obviously, I put up a bunch of Chris O'Dowd films in the first little section, and then I was trying to distract you with a Titanic themed thing, but I really just wanted you to focus on the Sapphire. The film is the Sapphires. Very well done to where are they? To Haley Thor. Haley Thor on Insta. You were the first one to get me the Sapphires, so I will get in contact with you and send you a Netherworld pin, an exclusive Netherworld pin. Chucky Newt has pushed back and said action is the easiest, and because you just have to find an ing word. I know, but something about it I just hate so much. It just doesn't go with my brain. Alright, that's us it. That's a saying. Please send me your comics. I would very much like them. Alright, thank you for a comic that's come in. You know what to do. Add up your points, throw them in the Google form, send them to me so I can put them in the leaderboard. That's where you'll do theme requests. Next week we'll have 40 questions, pop culture. Obviously we had a special NAIDOC week this week. I put a limit on my Instagram, and it just timed out when I needed it most. I'm just unlocking it and then judging the comics. Alrighty, okay. I've got a pretty good winner here, I think, of our comic, who's managed to combine NAIDOC week with the US election. They've drawn Florida, like the map of Florida, and the map of Florida is saying, I'm a monster, but then in a tree is a koala that's like a vicious koala that is like a foreigner's depiction of a koala, and the koala is saying, what's this then, slut? Amazing. I'm gonna show the camera, and then I'll put it on the notice board next week. I'm not sure who this was, but I will find out. Ooh. Alrighty. A drop bear in a state. That's us. That's us it. Thank you for that. Why did I say that's us it again? Oh goodness me. Put me to bed. Thank you for bearing with us with those little internet bed bugs. Magic be upon your house. We'll see you next week. Last week of Origin. So, you know, turn up because we'll need you. Maybe I'll do an Origin question. I probably won't though. Stay safe.